Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I thought that maybe I don't really know how to give a notification about going live, so I thought I would just try to let you know here that perhaps I will shoot for right around like noon tomorrow, between 11:30 and 12, something like that. If that sounds okay, I'm just going to do it. Even if it's just one person on here chatting, then that's okay with me. I left the chat just a little bit early today. It was actually pretty good, except, I never really thought I'd have to do this. Once again, I'm the bad cop, Kat's the good cop. Usually the other way around. Now, of course, I did have to delete some people. I had to get rid of them. It was just those sex people dropping in to say, oh, for some super hot women, check out this site or whatever. And, I got rid of them, but that was all. I was very exciting to do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit by and let these somewhat ridiculous statements go without saying a word about them. Because here's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. People get used to somewhat of a cult figure or a leader. This isn't to say that, like, Mike Rivera is a cult leader, but there is something cultish about certain people on YouTube or whatever, where they get a following, and those people, get upset if you say a word against the person doing the video, or they always, just go along with groupthink. You know what it's like. It's called mob mentality, or animal instincts, or herd mentality, something like that. I've seen it with everybody that has really gotten somewhere on YouTube with a lot of different followers, where you have a certain segment of society, if they put something in a comment section that goes against the grain, like, for example, on that Randy Rhoads show, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to be honest and say it. To me, she's status quo. She's not some big progressive alternative media sort. She gets her talking points directly from the mainstream media as well, as some other people. And I've had friends of mine that have gone over there and pointed out, things about Hillary Clinton and other establishment Democrats, and they've been thrown off the chat. See, that's just so insanely ridiculous to me. You can't let people get away with stuff. Darn. And that brought me to Jordan's comment. I was going to do a video about it. I'm going to try to paraphrase Jordan. He said it so beautifully, though, that it happened to him where he was taken to task over there at that particular chat. And he said something about, I don't even want to say it because I'm not going to do it any justice. I'm going to have to write it down. But it was something about minimizing the influence of the oligarchs isn't a good scene. It's not a good thing to do or something. And, speaking of dear sweet Hillary and that whole crew or whatever. So, I guess that's all. Perpetual's arriving home. So I will let you go and see if he's going to clutch his pearls over Todd. I'm kidding. Yeah, I think that we will meet here about between 11:30 and 12 tomorrow. And I'll try to do the live thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not promising much. No, I'm not going to go yet, because I want to tell you about what I took Michael to task for saying today, to the point of dropping a link in there repeatedly and also emailing him with some pertinent information. I am not going to sit by and have somebody saying that Adolf Hitler and the Nazis were left-wing liberals. That was literally what he was saying, ladies and gentlemen. That is complete bullshit. Sorry, once again. And you know what? That started as a meme a while back. I think it was like maybe 2008 or 9. It's probably been before that this false talking point has been going around. But Glenn Beck did a mini documentary about it when he had that Fox News show, showing how the Nazis were liberals and all this. It's the most insane thing. Ask a political scientist a political science major what they think. Like, go look up Michael Parenti and let him describe to you what fascism is, what Nazism is, or whatnot. People think because it has the word socialism in the title that meant somehow they were socialistic or left-wing. It isn't. It's a misnomer to have that in there. And I really do recommend Michael Parenti's advice on this, because he goes through giving examples or the different points of fascism. and what it is. And it's just, I can't do it justice at all. Perhaps I will try to find that particular thing and drop it here in the comment section for your viewing pleasure or listening pleasure. A lot of times it's just audio with Michael Parenti. So, yeah, I found the rebuttal to what Michael was saying on a website called, oh my God, I think it's Everything You Know Is Wrong or something. I don't think that's it. I forget the name of it, but you know, you have to realize that certain terminology does not mean the same thing doesn't mean the same thing these days that it used to mean. I've been over this before, like, you know, the word socialism or different, like libertarianism means something totally different in other countries than it does here in the United States. So you'll have like a libertarian socialist mindset, and people are like, what does that mean? And I'm talking about the, I guess, the political stance, the ideology that like a Noam Chomsky would have. Where in the truest sense of the word, if you really, really root out everything, and Noam Chomsky has said this himself, in the literal sense of the word, he would be a conservative. Same thing that Frank Zappa used to say. With, you know, it's just, we just have to realize that some things are misnomers, some things are not used in the same context as they once were. Just because the word socialism is in the description of the Nazi Party does not mean that Adolf Hitler was some liberal left-winger. That's the most outrageous thing that I've heard in a long time since I gave up Glenn Beck, to be honest with you. But evidently it's still a talking point over at that show, and I'm not going to let that stand. If you don't believe me, if you think that I'm off my rocker, just look it up. But get it from a reliable source that maybe has a degree in political science or something. Oh my God, really, honest to Pete. And so here I am taking him to task and dropping in information. And then somebody said something about the founding fathers, and I don't think they said how great they were or anything like that. But they weren't that. I mean, the country was. They might have been fine in their own different ways. Like, remember Benjamin Franklin? I thought he'd be fun to pal around with. But the country was founded on really to uphold, the country was really founded for and by the oligarchs, the 1%, the super rich. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that white landowners, property owners were the only ones allowed to vote back then. So this was not founded on some, liberty and justice for all. A lot of that stuff has been misconstrued and taught in our schools. It's American exceptionalism where we're so wonderful. Now, this will get me in trouble with the snowflakes on the right wing. So let me just clear it up here and let you know that there are some good things, of course, in the Constitution. Some principles that come out of the Constitution that are very admirable. Like the separation of church and state, the checks and balances on the different branches of government. Things like that were good. There is some nuance. It isn't all black and white and right and wrong and left and right and all that crap. There is nuance in life. And there's also definitions that change over the years. There are words that make no sense when applied to a Nazi. There's nobody, honestly, in their right mind that would think that party was a left wing. Now, they wouldn't, maybe they're not necessarily right-wing either. They define themselves as something else altogether. Things are not black and white, ladies and gentlemen. They aren't left, right, Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. That is all such baloney to keep us fighting and to keep me going crazy looking up links and trying to give people the other, the actual story of this. Oh my God, I'm exhausted from this. You know what? I really am. Okay, tomorrow I'll see you between 11:30 and noon. Perhaps I'll do a quick video in the morning saying I'm going live. I don't know how to give a warning about going live, so you have to bear with me. No matter who shows up, just come prepared to ask a question or talk or get to know each other or whatever, because I want to do this almost as in honor of my subscribers, because I really do appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen, I do. And like I said, if people can prove to me that somehow Adolf Hitler was some screaming liberal, let me know. I'm totally open to looking at all kinds of weird stuff. Oh my God. Remember, I look at conspiracies so you don't have to. I am very open-minded to the point that my brains might fall out. So I'm going to close it up a little bit and let you go. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Remember, please, drop your political identity and please God bless America. Look up if somebody says that Adolf Hitler was a raging liberal. Look it up. Love you.